In the wise words of the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus, he once shared a valuable insight: surround yourself only with those who uplift you, those whose presence brings out your best. We've all heard the saying, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today, let's take a fresh perspective on this concept. We'll delve into the realm of Stoic philosophy and explore the 7 types of individuals who can hinder your progress on this path. Together, we'll discover how to navigate these challenging relationships and stay true to our Stoic principles. But before we embark on this journey, I kindly ask for your support by liking this video. Your support will enable me to continue spreading the profound teachings of Stoicism. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend subscribing to my channel and activating the notification bell so that you never miss any of our enlightening videos. Let's dive in and uncover the secrets to maintaining our Stoic values amidst the complexities of human connections. Let's explore the first type of person who can derail our progress in Stoic philosophy: the complainer. We all have that friend, family member, or coworker who seems to always find something to complain about. Whether it's the weather, their job, or even the food at a popular restaurant, they never miss an opportunity to express their dissatisfaction. You might think, why should this concern me? I can just ignore them. However, it's not as easy as it sounds. Consistently being exposed to negativity can have a draining effect on our mental well-being. It's like a leaky faucet, slowly depleting our reservoir of emotional energy. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actionable solutions rather than dwelling on problems. For instance, imagine working on a project with someone who is a perpetual complainer. Every meeting turns into a tiresome session of complaints without any constructive dialogue. This has a detrimental impact on the team's morale, sidetracks us from finding solutions, and can leave us feeling disenchanted not only with the project but with life in general. So, how can Stoicism help us deal with this situation? There are several strategies we can employ. Firstly, it's important to limit our exposure to this individual whenever possible. However, if that's not feasible, such as when they're a family member or colleague, our second option is to mentally distance ourselves during their diatribes. We can think of their complaints as passing storms, loud and unsettling, but ultimately temporary and powerless against the unmovable mountain of our inner tranquility. A third option is to steer the conversation toward solutions or change the subject to something more constructive. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless Stoic wisdom encourages us to diligently guard our mental peace, ensuring that chronic complainers do not deviate us from our Stoic path of resilience and virtue. By employing these strategies, we can navigate our interactions with complainers while staying true to our Stoic principles. Remember, it is within our power to maintain our inner peace and focus on what truly matters: our own growth and virtue. Let's now explore the second type of person who can derail our progress in Stoic philosophy: the drama magnet. Imagine your life as a ship sailing through calm waters when suddenly you encounter the whirlpool of a drama magnet. This individual seems to always have a never-ending series of crises, conflicts, or controversies. Like a whirlpool, they have the unsettling ability to suck you into their vortex of chaos. At first, you might be drawn to their energy, mistaking it for passion or excitement. However, you'll soon realize that being in their presence is like navigating a ship through a storm, exhausting and dangerous. What makes dealing with trauma magnets particularly challenging is that their crises often start to feel like your own. Their chaos is infectious, and you may find yourself embroiled in conflicts that you initially had no part in. Let's consider a practical example. You have a friend who frequently falls out with others in your social circle. Today, they're not talking to Sarah. Tomorrow, it's Tom. Your friend comes to you for advice, but you notice that this cycle never seems to end. Suddenly, you find yourself at odds with Sarah or Tom because you tried to intervene. In such cases, one strategy you can employ is called reflective listening. Instead of offering advice or taking sides, simply mirror their words back to them. For instance, if they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that about me," you can respond with, "So you're feeling betrayed by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to provide emotional support without getting entangled in the drama yourself. Another approach, and one that may seem counterintuitive, is to become selectively unavailable. Stoicism reminds us to value our time highly, and sometimes that means being unavailable for other people's recurring crises. Turn off your phone during certain hours. Create dedicated focus periods for work or personal development, and communicate that during these times you are not to be disturbed. As Seneca paraphrased it, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This mindset can be particularly helpful when dealing with trauma magnets. Instead of anxiously wondering what crisis will happen next, focus on the present moment where you have control. Enjoy your life and don't allow it to be disrupted by someone else's drama. Make it a point to calmly navigate your ship, steering clear of whirlpools that threaten your voyage towards personal growth and tranquility. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to maintain our inner peace and not allow external circumstances or the dramas of others to disturb our journey towards virtue and resilience. Let's now turn our attention to the third type of person who can derail our progress in Stoic philosophy, the naysayer. Imagine yourself as an artist, passionately painting a canvas. Each brushstroke adds color, depth, and life to your vision. But then, the naysayer enters your studio. They take a glance at your work and immediately begin to critique it. Are you sure about that color? That doesn't look realistic. You know, most artists never make it, they say. Their words, like strokes of gray paint, start to dull the vibrancy of your canvas. This isn't just constructive criticism, which can be valuable. It's a persistent aura of negativity. For instance, let's say you're excited about pursuing a new career path. You've done your research, sought advice from professionals in the field, and maybe even taken some preliminary courses. When you share your enthusiasm with the naysayer, they quickly list all the reasons why it won't work out. The market is too competitive, they say. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Gradually, their doubts begin to seep into your own thoughts, and the self-assured vision you once had starts to waver. So, how do you deal with a naysayer, especially when they might be someone close to you? One unconventional but effective method is to ask them for advice instead of just sharing your plans or aspirations. When people are put in an advisory role, they are less likely to attack your ideas outright and may offer more constructive feedback. Another approach involves flipping the script through a technique called positive confrontation. Instead of absorbing their negativity, challenge them to think of solutions. If they say, "You'll never be able to switch careers at this stage," counter with interesting perspective. How do you think someone could successfully make a career change then? This not only deflects the negativity, but also encourages a more constructive form of conversation. Remember the wise words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening doesn't mean absorbing everyone's negativity. It means discerning valuable input from mere noise. When naysayers start to cloud your canvas with their shades of doubt, take a step back. Listen, reflect, and continue painting your own life with the colors that speak to you. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a dull gray landscape. Stay true to your vision and let the naysayers' doubts be mere brushstrokes on the periphery of your artistic journey. Let's delve into the 4th type of person who can hinder our progress in Stoic philosophy, the victim. Imagine life as a game of chess, where each player has the same pieces and the same goal: to checkmate the opponent's king. You think strategically, make sacrifices, and take risks. However, the victim constantly blames the board, the pieces, or even their opponent for every poor move they make. In their eyes, they're perpetually in checkmate, not because of their choices, but because of some external force working against them. Their narrative is a never-ending tale of woe, with themselves cast as the helpless protagonist. It's important to acknowledge that some people face genuine hardships and systemic issues. However, the victim we're discussing uses their predicament as a permanent excuse, refusing to take any responsibility for their actions or lack thereof. You might find yourself entangled in their storyline, perhaps as the supporting character who constantly needs to rescue them. For example, you may have spent countless hours listening to a friend blame their endless string of failed relationships entirely on their ex-partners. Not only does this consume your time, but it can also subtly encourage you to adopt a similar victim mindset in your own life. So, what's your move when dealing with a victim? It might be tempting to become their savior, offering endless advice and emotional support, but the Stoics would caution against this. They'd recommend drawing a firm boundary to protect your own mental state. You could employ a technique known as compassionate detachment, show empathy and kindness, but don't try to rescue them from situations they need to navigate themselves. Offer a listening ear, but refrain from becoming their perpetual problem solver. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. If you find yourself being pulled into the victim's narrative, resist the urge to become one yourself. Take control of your own game board, make your moves, and remember, in the chess game of life, being perpetually in checkmate is often a choice, not a fate. Keep your pieces moving forward, make strategic sacrifices when necessary, and play not for revenge or pity, but for growth and wisdom. Stay true to your Stoic values and navigate through life's challenges with resilience and virtue. Let's now explore the 5th type of person who can impact our journey in Stoic philosophy, the toxic positivist. You're likely familiar with this individual. They're always exuding sunshine, rainbows, and endless streams of emojis. They're the ones telling you to just be happy when you're going through a tough period, dismissing your feelings and experiences with a flippant wave of glittery optimism. Imagine your life as a garden. There are flowers, but there are also weeds and pests. The toxic positivist insists on ignoring anything that isn't a blooming rose. If you have aphid in your leaves, they'd simply tell you to focus on the flowers and not let negativity into your garden. While this approach may sound uplifting, it can make you feel invalidated and disconnected from reality. For instance, if you're going through a tough breakup, feeling sad and confused while seeking emotional balance, the toxic positivist's advice might be, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Just smile, and be happy. This type of excessive positivity neglects the complexities of human emotion and the realities of life's challenges. So, how do you cultivate your garden without letting the toxic positivist trample it with their indiscriminate sprinkling of good vibes only? One strategy is to engage them in a discussion that embraces both light and shadow. If they insist on looking on the bright side, you could acknowledge your gratitude for your health while also expressing that it's okay to feel upset about specific issues. Both can coexist. You can also employ what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to feel and differentiate between a wide range of emotions, both positive and negative. When the toxic positivist pushes you to just be happy, take a moment to acknowledge and label your nuanced feelings. Saying, "I'm feeling a bit melancholic today, and that's okay," can be a liberating affirmation. To reference Stoic thought, Seneca once said, "True happiness is to understand our duties toward God and man, to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Notice the balance understanding duties, which aren't always pleasant, and enjoying the present. A Stoic approach isn't about focusing solely on the positive or negative. It's about embracing life's complexity with equanimity. So, the next time the toxic positivist sprinkles their confetti on your carefully tended garden, take a step back. Remember, a garden needs both sunshine and rain to flourish. Embrace your full emotional spectrum and keep nurturing your garden with the richness and complexity it deserves. Stay true to your Stoic principles by acknowledging the full range of human experience and finding balance in embracing life's intricacies. Let's now explore the sixth type of person who can impact our journey in Stoic philosophy, the manipulator. Picture your life as a movie script where you're the main character with an idea of how your story should unfold, including the twists, allies, mentors, and the final act. Enter the manipulator, the shadowy producer who subtly rewrites your script without you even realizing it, until one day you find your storyline has veered off course. The manipulator is skilled in the art of emotional or psychological maneuvering. They might use flattery, guilt trips, or even deceit to steer you in a direction that benefits them. For instance, you might have a friend who always manages to get you to pay for dinner by saying something like, "You know, I've been having a rough month, and you're so successful it wouldn't mean much to you, but would make my day better." Over time, you find that your generosity has been taken advantage of, but calling them out feels uncomfortable because they've framed it as a favor to a friend in need. Handling the manipulator can be challenging. One method to counteract their tactics is what some experts call fogging. This technique involves agreeing with any truth in the manipulator's statements, but refusing to be moved by emotional coercion. If they say, "You're so successful, you should cover dinner," you could respond, "You're right that I've been doing well, but let's split the bill as we usually do." Another approach is to set clear boundaries and enforce them. If the manipulator wants you to lend them money or commit to tasks you're uncomfortable with, learn to say no assertively. Keep your tone calm and your words clear. "I can't lend money, but I am here to offer emotional support," sets a boundary while maintaining the friendship. Drawing inspiration from Stoic thought, Epictetus warned us, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The manipulator thrives on your predictable reactions. They manipulate your kindness, your guilt, or your desire for approval. By choosing to respond differently, you're taking control of your script again. So if you find the manipulator lurking in your life, remember that you're the one holding the pen. Your storyline is yours to write, And while the cast may include a variety of characters, the protagonist's journey, your journey, should always be guided by your own values and decisions. Reclaim your script and don't let anyone manipulate your life's narrative. Stay true to your Stoic principles by maintaining control over your responses and decisions, ensuring that your journey reflects your values and integrity. As we conclude our exploration of characters who can disrupt our journey towards Stoic resilience and wisdom, let's delve into the seventh type of person, the time vampire. Imagine your daily routine as a carefully crafted symphony, with each task representing an instrument. Then, the time vampire joins in, disrupting your melody and turning your composition into discordant noise. Time vampire is not necessarily malicious, but can be quite benign. It might be a colleague who constantly interrupts you with trivial questions, fragmenting your productive workday. Or it could be a friend who invites you to numerous social events that don't interest you, draining your time and energy. These interactions may seem inconsequential at first, but their cumulative effect can be profoundly disruptive. So, how do you protect your symphony from being ruined by a time vampire? One effective strategy is the Pomodoro technique, a time management method that involves breaking your work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes separated by short breaks. During these intervals, you make it clear that you're not to be disturbed. This sets boundaries that protect your most productive times from being nibbled away. If you find yourself dealing with a social time vampire, remember that saying no is not just okay, it's essential for your well-being. Instead of offering elaborate excuses, a simple "I appreciate the invite, but I can't make it" suffices. An invitation is not a rejection of the person, but an affirmation of your own needs and priorities. In the words of Seneca, life, if well lived, is long enough. Stoicism teaches us that time is one of our most precious resources, one that should be allocated wisely. It's the canvas upon which we paint the portrait of our lives, and we should be highly selective about who and what deserves a stroke of our time. In the grand composition of your life, make sure each note, each instrument, each melody aligns with your greater purpose. Don't let the cacophonous intrusion of a time vampire throw your symphony into disarray. Hold the baton firmly and conduct your life with purpose, ensuring that every moment is a note well played in your harmonious masterpiece. As we conclude, let's not forget that self-awareness is key. It's easy to recognize these types in others, but the more challenging and enlightening task is looking within. Are you perhaps unintentionally playing one of these roles in someone else's life? Remember, it isn't just about navigating the world, it's also about understanding and improving ourselves. If today's discussion has sparked realization, epiphanies, or even just introspection, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Write your thoughts, share your experiences, and let's engage in dialogue that enriches us all. So until next time, may your choices align with your virtues, may your actions reflect your wisdom, and may your life be the masterpiece you're meant to create.